Good morning, it is Tuesday the 10th, it is 11:30 and I'm just going to head off out now. I've been a little bit too busy this morning to come out any earlier. Yeah, other than that, nothing really much to mention. The A1 taxis finally paid everybody last night. They sent a message out at about 5 minutes to midnight to say that you've been paid. So yeah, I'll be doing the school run for them. I've got one booked in for 3:10, so I'll be going down, seeing what that one's like, and I've got that same job again booked in for Thursday. So basically, if it's rubbish today or I'm stuck there for hours in traffic or it's just not worth it, then I'll just put it back into the pool for somebody else to do. But other than that, yeah, I'll see what happens. It's freezing cold. I mean, it's 14 degrees, but it is freezing. It's a cold 14 degrees, so I'm hoping people want to jump some Ubers instead. But I will keep you posted shortly. Our update time, and it's been crap. So came online before, didn't get anything. I basically, for the first half an hour, I drove in towards Ormskirk, nothing whatsoever. Looped round into Southport, nothing, and then parked up for like 5 minutes or so, and then got a little £4.47 job for 1.3 miles. Done that, and I've then sat round for like another 10 minutes, and then got another little job, £4.83 for 2.1 miles, and that is it. So yeah, it's been horrendously slow. That's £9.30, shocking. So yeah, it's kind of borderline. Like, I know it's obviously quite short in the day, you know, there's not going to be a massive demand, you know, for trips, but it's just, that's just shockingly bad, to be honest. I mean, I'm on the verge of just thinking, oh, I'll go home and come back out later. There's no point just driving around for £9 in an hour. It's ridiculous. The A1 school runs again, so I got a booking for 3:10, and it says, just gives you the address, tells you you're doing drop number 1 and then drop number 2, and you've got 3 passengers, and it gives you one name. So I'm thinking, well, if there's only 2 drop-offs, where's passenger number 3 gonna go? Unless obviously 2 are getting out in the same destination, I don't know. And also it's got passenger name and just gives you one name, but I'm picking 3 passengers up, so how am I supposed to pull up to a school and what, you just randomly select 3 kids to get in? Like, that doesn't make sense. So I messaged who's apparently like the main guy, you know, gave him the booking number and basically explained all that, what I've just said. And then he just come back to me saying, sorry, I'm out the office till later. And that was it. So, you know, I've messaged back saying, you know, is there any way I can find this information out? Because I need it to carry out the job. Like, I'm not prepared to drive down to a school. I've only got one name, so this one lad will say, oh yeah, that's me, you'll get in. And then what? I'm supposed to go in and say, I'm here picking up another 2 passengers, so who are you picking up? Got no idea. And then what happens if, you know, 3 of them get in and then one of them's like, oh no, I'm not getting out at either of them destinations. Like, I can't be bothered sorting out other people's mess. It needs to be nice and clear and precise, and it's not. It's just, it was like the other day I had one and it just had a guy's name. I just pulled up outside the school and there was a female and a male just like stood there. So just because it was a male's name, I said, oh, is this you? And he was like, yeah. But if he wouldn't have been stood there, what are you supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? Like, it's the notes are just rubbish. And then when you message the office, because it clearly says any problems to contact them, so you contact them and then they say, I'm out the office. So what am I supposed to do? So unless he comes back to me in the next like half an hour or so and says, yeah, here's the names or whatever, I'm just going to message and say, well, I'm not doing that job. So I'm not prepared to drive down to waste my time, because I think you get like a tiny bit of waiting time, but again, it's just pence. It's like Uber, you know, for me going in and out. And like I said, even if I go inside, they're not going to know who I'm picking up because it just says passengers 3. So anyway, I'm getting more and more bored of using them, to be honest, at the moment. So yeah, that's my little rant for that. So that's all it. I'll go and pick a sandwich up now, I think, and see if I get another job in the next like 15 minutes. If not, I will be going home. Good evening. It is just coming up to 8 p.m. So I've been offline for most of the day. The last update was 12:30. I actually finished at 2:30. So I'll just give you a little bit of an update from there. It was really quiet. I was in Southport, so just after the last update I'd done a Southport to Southport, £5.51 for 2.1 miles. I then done another Southport to Southport, which is £5.34 for 1.2 miles, and it was just completely dead. At that point I was just about to come home empty and just come back out this evening, and then a job popped up, Southport to Liverpool, £26.93 for 18.4 miles. So I took it because it was so quiet. The mileage wasn't great, but I done it anyway. And then after that I just came home. I had to go to a 5th birthday party with my son. So like I said, I've only just pretty much got back, sorted him out, and I was going to come back out. So for those couple of hours that I'd done this morning, which was 3 hours, 11:30 till 2:30, it basically worked out at £15.69 an hour. So still low, but the only thing that kind of saved it was that Liverpool run. Otherwise I think I was on about £9 or £10 an hour, which was really poor, to be honest. I got that Liverpool job, so I thought, well, that's quite handy because I'm heading down towards Liverpool, and I had the A1 school run. Now, the issue that I had with the A1 school run, I'll just get it up. I think I'm logged out. There you go, I'm logged in. So, had a job. It's disappeared now. So I had a job. It was out of school, 3:30, and it's really basic. So it said on there collecting three passengers going to 2 different drops. So I thought that's a bit odd because there's only 2, but then it only had 1 child's name. Now, on some of the jobs I've done, it's kind of obvious because you're picking them up from the home address, so you just pick them 1 child up and take them to a school, so you don't need tons of information. Now on another one where I had to go and collect the boy from the school, I had to go into the reception, state who I was collecting them on behalf, i.e. A1 school runs, and then give them the child's name. So they then had to go and get the child and bring the child out to you, which is all normal, so everybody knows everyone, everything's all nice and safe. Now on this job, it only gave me the name for 1 child, so I thought, I can't go into the school and ask for 3 children, but I only know the name of 1. Like, they're not just going to start handing children over to you, and rightly so, they shouldn't. So basically, on the notes it says, any issues, reach out to Rob, who I think is the main guy, or to Andrea. So I reached out to Rob, said, oh hi Rob, here's the reference number, explained everything to him. He then come back to me 7 minutes later, sorry, I'm out the office till later. So I thought, right, okay. I mean, wasn't helpful at all. So I said, like, is there any way I'm able to find this information out, because I need it in order to carry out the job. So then he left it like 15 minutes and then just sends me a landline number. So I thought, like, I'm too busy to do other people's work for them. That'd be like That'll be like Uber sending you a job and saying, right, you're picking someone up from the city centre, here's the name, and that's it. And then you saying, well, I need a bit more information than that, and then them saying, well, here's the number, you sort it out, you contact them all, you do. So basically they want to take their commission, sit back, but then let you do the admin work. And I'm thinking, like, that's not my job. You know, so I'm just thinking, like, right, okay, so I'm basically trying to bite my tongue. Like, I've run businesses for like 15 years now, and I wouldn't do that. I would bend over backwards to get that information. Even if I was out the office, I would contact the office and say, look, this particular driver needs more information, can you get it over to them? And I'd make sure it was done. Rob's basically just washed his hands with it. I'm out the office. I'm thinking, well, it's your business, you know, you shouldn't be operating it like this, but each to their own. So anyway, I reached out to Andrea. I asked Andrea the same question that I'd sent to Rob. You know, I said, like, there's only one name, but there's 3 passengers. You know, can you please provide me with the other names? So I waited and waited and waited, and basically just got no response. I was in Liverpool, got no response. So I'm thinking, like, it's almost an hour had elapsed at this point because I'd driven all the way to Liverpool. So I thought, well, what do I do? Do I now start taking other jobs? Am I supposed to wait round? I thought, I'm not prepared to drive to this school where there's thousands of kids, you know, well, not thousands, but, you know, there might be 1,000 kids coming out at 3:30. What am I supposed to do? Walk around and say, does anyone need a lift? You know, I'll get locked up. So it's ridiculous. So she didn't get back to me because it says on the notes, reach out to Rob or to Andrea. So she was the only person I could reach out to. So I then messaged her again saying, hello, I'm unable to do the following 2 jobs, unfortunately. And then gave her the reference number for that one and the same job, which is in 2 days' time, because they've failed to provide me with enough information to carry out the job as far as I'm concerned. You know, I potentially could have gone down there and went in and said, well, I've got the name of one, but then you're going to look stupid because they're going to say, well, what other 2 children are you collecting? Oh, I don't know. You know, you can't do the job. So I text that, still got no response. Now, when I messaged Rob the other day for a job that I couldn't do, I said, I'm unable to do this job, sorry. Can you know, stick it back in the pool or whatever? And again, it was a little bit rude. There was no like, okay, not to worry, thanks for that. He just read the message, the job disappeared off my app, and then it popped back up because you get a notification when a job comes up, and then I seen that job come up and then disappeared because someone else had taken it. So I texted her, but that didn't happen. So I thought, well, there's nothing else that I can do. I've reached out to the only 2 people that you can, and one basically fobbed me off and the second one ignored me. So I thought, right, okay. So I just carried on. I'd done a little bit of Uber work, making my way back home, but like I didn't get any jobs because I was just coming straight back home anyway, because I thought, well, that's me done now. If I was going to be staying out to do that school run, I would have stayed out, but because I wasn't doing it, I thought, well, I might as well just come back home because it's so quiet. So come back home, go and pick the little one up, and then my phone's like ringing off the hook. You know, it got to like 20 to 4. So then I get a phone call. So I thought, well, I don't know who that is, just a random one. 4 minutes after that, I then start getting a WhatsApp call from Rob. So I thought, well, I'm not answering it because I know what it's going to be. It's going to be, well, why haven't you done that collection? Well, I've asked Rob, he's fobbed me off, and then I've asked Andrea, and she's ignored me. So it's like, it's your problem, so sort your own business out. Like, they don't have any respect for the drivers. It's like they're handing jobs out. If there's an issue, they're basically like washing their hands with it. You know, you sort it out. You know, I'm not your skivvy. You know, I'm there to do a job if you provide me the information for which you haven't. So then there was another phone call off that, off another number again. Now, I'm not going to answer it because I know what it is, and I'm not sitting there to listen to an earache. Part of the reason I've run my own businesses for so long is because prior to that, I had to deal with people just like Rob, you know, and at the time, I wasn't in a position where I could tell them where to go. You know, you've got to go in and you've got to put up with this type of, you know, management and whatnot. And I'm done with all that. I'll never do that again. And that's why working for Uber is easy, because you can just go, yeah, I want that job or I don't want that job, alright, I'm going home now, and that's why it's nice and easy, you know. And again, when my operator's license comes through, I can pick what jobs I want to do. I don't have to answer to anybody, you know, and I know that everything is all done correctly. So anyway, I then got a WhatsApp off Rob, school asking where you are. So I've messaged him back saying, you know, Rob, I've been asking you for the information before. You said you were out the office. You've told me to contact them. I've reached out. I've asked Andrea, as per the notes, the same question and got no response. You know, I'm unable to attend the school asking to collect children to which I have no names. You know, I've only had the name for one child. The school will need this information, blah blah blah. Basically what I've just said. I've then gone on to say, like, as Andrea didn't get back to me, I've then contacted her again to let her know, and this was like 2 hours before the job, that I wouldn't be able to do the job. Basically, again, I got no reply. I said I'm extremely busy. I said I'm running 2 companies. You know, I said I've got, you know, my own work going on. I'm doing Uber. I said, and if people start calling me, I can't be answering the phone in front of other clients. You know, so that's the whole point of they're app based. You can accept the jobs, and if there's any notes, you can read the notes. So everything should be there for you, but they're lacking that. They, you know, granted, you know, they're relatively new, but they should be looking at it themselves and saying, what can we do to make things easier? But they're not. They're basically just saying it's the driver's fault. And they done that yesterday when they failed to pay everybody. They didn't pay any of the drivers, and they were basically saying over and over again, oh, come on drivers, you know, you need to update your information. And everyone's like, no, that's rubbish, you've got our information. So like I said, they finally paid everyone, oh well, I'm guessing everybody, at like midnight. But so anyway, you know, I sent them all that saying, like, I'm too busy. I don't get paid for doing another company's admin work on behalf, you know, for them. I said, if the information isn't provided, I'm unable to do the job. So I sent that over to him. Typical automated response, I am not in the office, please resend Monday to Friday. So it's just like, you know, it's so poorly ran and managed. I can't see that being around for long, to be honest. And if it is round, then I don't know how long the drivers will put up for it. Granted, there's probably some drivers that don't mind that, and they might just carry on with that type of thing, but that's not for me. So like I said, my patience was already running quite thin with it, and that's pretty much like the tipping point, to be honest. I'll probably leave the app there, and if jobs pop up where it's a collection from somebody's house taking them to school, then yeah, I might do it. But it's that to me is ridiculous. Like, it's you know, to give you an example, when I went to one of the schools last week, I pulled up, there must have been 20 minibuses, you know, like 15, 16 seater minibuses in a line. I joined another line where there was like me and 3 kind of like Ubers and whatnot. You could just tell we were like you know, the Uber gang. And then in front of us there must have been 30 plus Hackneys. Now they're all there obviously for the, you know, for kids, but a lot of them will know what children they're picking up, and those kids will recognise the driver, so they can go straight over to that particular vehicle. But in my little group where we were, we didn't know who we were. We had to go inside and start asking for names, and that's why it's so important to know that information. You can't turn up at a school and say, oh, if you've got a couple of kids who want to jump in the back of my van. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to work. So anyway, that's me rant over. It's now 8:10, so I've wasted 10 minutes of my Uber time now. Luckily it's just started throwing it down, as you've probably seen. So I will I'll see how we get on. Just about to go online now, and yeah, I will keep you updated shortly. Final update of the evening. I haven't had a chance to message, so I started off, I think it was just after 8:15, and I got an Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £4.22. That was for 0.9 of a mile. And then got a Bearscough to Bearscough, £5.35 for 1 mile. I then had Banks, which is the outskirts of Southport, into Southport. I had to run a couple of miles for it, to be honest. I'd say at least 3. We got £9.51 for 3 miles, but then, like I said, I ran probably 3 for it, so that would be 6 miles. I then had Southport to Southport, £4.80 for 0.9 of a mile. And it was about 9:15 then, and I thought, starting to go quiet, because around Southport, Ormskirk on a weekday, anywhere between 9 and 10, it just completely dies. There's nothing. So that's when I tend to head home. So I was just about to head home, and then a job popped up. It was £46.27 for 39.1 miles, which was from Southport Hospital to Altrincham, so basically kind of the outskirts of Manchester. So I took that because I thought, well, it's empty. Granted, if I was just to go there and back, it's like a 2-hour job. So I thought, well, that's like £23 an hour, and I knew if I were to hang around where I was, I wouldn't have got £23 an hour, because that's like Friday, Saturday night kind of rates. Certainly not a Tuesday night rate, and I probably would have headed home. So I done that anyway. Dropped him off, started heading back, had my destination set for home, and then it gave me another job when I was nearly home, which was Skelmersdale into Ormskirk. So I was kind of heading that way, not fully, but kind of. That was £14.33 for 6.9 miles, so I didn't have to run all the way back completely empty. So I know this morning was rubbish. I think I was on like £9 an hour or something. So combined today, this morning and this evening, I've worked 6 hours, and I finished on £131.56. So that now averages out at £21.92, which isn't too bad. That's kind of like Friday, Saturday night kind of rates. Obviously, the only thing that has saved the night, so to speak, is that £46 job. If I wouldn't have taken that, the hourly rate would have been a lot worse. So yeah, I done that Skem to Ormskirk, and then basically just plodded home. And I'm down to about 5 miles of range left for when I got home. So I've done 175 miles today. The only reason I've done the little bit extra is when I came home today, I stuck it back on charge for a couple of hours. That's why I've been able to do 175, because normally at best you get like, I don't know, 150, 155, something like that. So that's why I've been able to do like them extra 20 odd miles. So that was about it. There was a message which I haven't read yet. It was from Rob from A1 School Runs. So I'm reading this for the first time now. He's put, okay, sometimes our information isn't perfect on the school runs. The schools know what cabs the kids are in. I'll speak to the owner tomorrow to see if I can switch you back on, because the kids were left at the school. Switch you back on. So I don't know if I don't know. By the sounds of it, they've like kicked me off the app. I'll see if I can switch you back on, because the kids were left at the school. So yeah. So as you can see there, it's a perfect example of their app isn't where it needs to be at as of yet. You know, it's quite new. Even the parents, when I've been dropping the kids off, they have been complaining as well. So you've got the kids, the parents complaining, the drivers complaining. However, they're in the middle basically saying it's got nothing to do with us, even though they're running the show. So yeah, I've basically just pointed out to them that they're not providing the correct information. I can't turn up to a school, I know I sound like a broken record here, but I can't turn up to a school with one child's name but expect them to hand over 3 children to me, whereas he's saying, and I quote, the schools know what cabs the kids are in, but they don't, because when I went the other day and I gave a name for the child I was collecting, the lady said, who are you? And I was like, I'm Paul. And she was like, yeah, but who are you, what company are you for? And I was like, oh, I'm collecting on behalf of A1 School Runs. And she was like, oh right, okay. So if I turn up and I say I'm collecting on behalf of A1 School Runs, there's going to be multiple collections from that school at that time from A1 School Runs. It's not just going to be just me, because there might be 5-10 kids being collected from that school. So the fact that he's saying the school somehow would know what 3 children are coming with me is just, honestly, they're just talking nonsense. So to be honest, I don't care if they've kicked me off the app. Like, I just honestly couldn't care in the least, to be honest. Obviously I'm not going to reply now because it's 11:30 at night. But yeah, I'll probably reply tomorrow to say, look, like, I'm not really bothered, to be honest, but at the end of the day, you need to provide the correct information. And as you can see, like, that's how they're treating the drivers. Like, they're not bothered. They want the drivers to do the legwork, they want the drivers to do the admin, they want the drivers to do the running about and in and out of the schools. They're basically just grabbing all of the money off the local authority and then just basically saying to all the the drivers, oh, you sort it out. And then the second a driver comes back, follows their instructions, Rob ignores me, Andrea ignores me, so I can't do anything. So then they see it as, oh, let's just kick the driver off the app. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'll message them back tomorrow to tell them what I think of them. So that's about it. So yeah, not too bad of a day considering it's only really been 6 hours. So yeah, my car's starting to make funny noises because I'm trying to get the heating on. It's freezing cold. It's 10 degrees. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see what a Wednesday can bring. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, it'll help, and I will see you then.